3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running.
Whether you've been married 1 or 20 plus years, at some point, you realized you were married into crazy.
And that's what our podcast is all about. We offer love, laughter, and a dose of reality as we unpack this crazy thing called marriage.
So sit back, relax, and get your ear hustle on. It's time to start the conversation.
All right, let's go.
Welcome to episode 169 of the Married into Crazy podcast with Snooks and Lovey. I'm Lovey.
I'm Snooks.
I always have to ask, why are you laughing coming out the gate?
It was just funny because you was like, oh, I'm not going to name episodes anymore because we know that it's not what I say it is because of earlier how it was messed up, blah, blah, blah. You came out the gate. It's 169.
Well, it's sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, because when we do those interviews with couples and we log them and we I guess project them out a little bit, then it kind of throws it off, because there have been a couple of times where we said what episode it was and it really wasn't that episode.
Mm-hmm. That's why it was just
you see
funny.
How she got me? That's why I'm wearing that. Look, I'm on lockdown. That's where I'm wearing my beanie inside the house. It's free now. Hey, we want to thank each and every one of you for coming back. Right? That's how I'm feeling right now. You know, orange is my favorite color. Look, and this is coming off of Thanksgiving, y'all. So I'm coming out of the what is it? The itis. I'm coming off.
Oh, we're just now coming up for air, y'all. Just now.
Man, I hope y'all had a great Thanksgiving.
We grazed. We ate and we grazed and we ate and we grazed some more. And
you know what else grazes?
Cows.
You said I'm a cow? I'm a bull.
What is that? What?
So that if you're grazing, that would make you a what? See, I'm over here trying to get in trouble.
I'm not even.
Look, okay, you know what? We're going to let that one go, because I'm going to get all kinds of mail. I'm going to get all kinds of hate mail. I can't believe he called her
a cow. He called me a cow?
I think I said heifer, but I was thinking heifer, but no.
You don't even say it right. Anyway.
Look.
Happy holidays. You see how Lovey's already picking on me?
Because we're full in. We're full in. You know how it goes, right? After things, soon as Halloween hits, like I said it last time, soon as Halloween hits, but it's not even Halloween. Look, kids haven't even gotten their candy yet, and the stores had up all the Christmas trees and everything set up for Christmas.
I'm excited about that anyway, because Christmas is my favorite holiday.
Oh, we could tell, because we had a Thanksgiving episode and all you did was talk about Christmas.
Did I?
I was trying to talk about the holiday, about giving thanks and what's it mean to you.
No,
and you was
Christmas.
Like, heat miser. And Mr. Magoo. And
oh my goodness. We brought up a cartoon.
And you went in. So then you start talking about, how we get over to your grandparents back in the day, and how the family would come together. But everything was centered around Christmas. So I'm just saying, now is that time. Because when everybody hears this, it will be December 1st. The countdown has begun.
It has began.
It has begun.
It has begun.
No, seriously. Does anybody else out there do the 25 days of Christmas? When you're watching TV shows every single day? Like, if you're watching YouTube, you see her like a little kid just over here dancing, just chair dancing. It's a good thing.
Okay, so like Lovey is saying, that's one of the things that we do. And even though our kids are not babies anymore, I mean, it's something that we've incorporated into our household, into our family. We look forward to the 25 days of Christmas. So our youngest one, years and years and years ago, she made her own little Christmas Day counter. X amount of, cute. Wasn't it cute? It was like a little snowman, and then she had little boxes, and it had how many days until Christmas. And I think we just got rid of it last year because it was broke.
Beat up.
Yeah. So I need to find another one and give it to her as an early Christmas present so she could go ahead and put that out there.
Well, I know a lot of people have. Remember that year I did the one with whiskey? There was the.
You did a whole Christmas with whiskey?
It was a Christmas calendar. It was like an Advent calendar.
Yeah, that's right.
Which is kind of sacrilegious. It was
Lovey stay drunk. No.
It was an Advent calendar, but in each, behind each one of the drawers or the doors, it was
a little whiskey,
a little thing of whiskey, trying all these 25 different whiskeys.
Yep. Now
And
he was happy on that.
thank you, Kevin Speece, for getting me in trouble with that one.
That's right.
That was
I
cool.
totally forgot about that. That was kind of cool, though. Cool idea.
It's not the first yet. I got a couple more days. I'm gonna see if I can get that thing drop shit.
Oh, well,
No,
you do have a couple
I forget what
days.
company that was too. But anyway,
I'm sure you can look it up on
it's
Amazon.
so we're
I'm
coming
sorry.
up on the following month. And just so you know, what we're going to ask each and every one of you to do, if you're enjoying the podcast, if you like the information we give, if you like the couples that we're bringing to you, do us a huge favor. Go over to Apple Podcast and put 5 on it for one. Put 5 on it. I can't even sing. But then on top of that, leave a review.
You leave a review.
Leave a review, leave a review, leave a review. And tell your mama to leave a review.
Tell your daddy, tell your uncle, tell your auntie, tell your cousin.
That's right. Tell them all. Leave a review. Invite all of them to actually listen, and that way they can participate as well.
Yes.
So go ahead and do that for us. But we're also going to ask that you go over to marriedintocrazy.com and go to the tab that says monthly question. Mm-hmm. And in that monthly question, because by the time you hear this, it will be December 1st, go ahead and read the question of the month, Snooks.
Okay. Without any restrictions, COVID, etc., if you could celebrate Christmas anywhere in the world, where would you go and why?
So we're going to ask that you go to the website, and when you go to the monthly question it's monthly question tab, you'll actually see a little thing on there that says record your answer to the question of the month. Mm-hmm. It's an opportunity for you to have your voice included in the podcast. Mm-hmm. Last month, right before Thanksgiving, we actually had 4 individuals that listeners
that we picked to be part of our listening background podcast
listening
audience
background podcast. No, so it was really cool. So we had to we narrowed it down. We randomly selected, and so what we'd like to do is have you participate and for the opportunity to be included in the podcast as well. So we're going to talk about this several times, and this particular podcast that we're going to air it on will be right before Christmas.
Oh, for that,
the question
results.
Of the month.
Okay, got
Absolutely. So don't just write into. We had some people that emailed us as well, and don't email us. Don't post it on social media. Go to the website marriedintocrazy.com. Go to the monthly question tab, and hit that little button that says start recording and answer your question. You got up to 120 seconds to leave your answer. Mm-hmm. On average, everyone only took about maybe 30, 45 seconds. So it's pretty cool.
I mean, I like when they go to the website and leave a message too. I know we want to hear the recording on our recorder thingy, but do both.
You know what? If you want to, go there, and because on every other tab within our page, we give you an opportunity to ask us questions. We haven't really talked about that, have we? Yeah, we give you the opportunity to talk, to ask us questions, make recommendations, what have you. Please. So that way, if you don't feel like typing it, go.
I was gonna say, please make the questions appropriate.
Right, that part, or don't. Who knows? We might include it.
Okay.
No, we don't. We keep this a PG-13, little under the R classification.
NC-17.
No, not quite NC-17 because that gets a little. That's past rated R.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, that's a stop before X.
Like that. Oh, of course you would know that.
Of course I would. I am a man of the world. Look, but you know what? So
anyway,
think about that question and chime in. We really look forward to hearing you guys actually do that. I guess I'm just full of commercials right now. So look, please don't hang up on us. Don't fast. You can fast forward, but just don't go anywhere else. But I do want to say that I want to remind everyone that on our Iron Tribe page, Iron Tribe, the marriage community on Facebook, we are going to be having an event on December 11th. Mm-hmm. That is going to be a marriage vision board activity.
I'm excited about this too. We do vision boards for a variety of things. We've done for traveling, we've done for business, we've done for health. So why not do one for your marriage? I think that's something that's overlooked. People, oh, that's right, we could do something like that for our marriage. What do you want your marriage to be? How do you see it? What do you see it in 5 years from now? You talk about, what kind of home do you want? Put it on the board. What kind of car you want to drive? Put it on the board. you know.
Right. We do it for those things. I don't want to call them trivial, but we do them for those superficial things, those things that we can't take with us. I mean, granted, we can't take our marriage, but we can leave a legacy. And so it's funny. I was talking to a business accountability group not that long ago, and I asked the question. I go, how many of you have vision boards? And everyone had vision boards. I'm like, okay, so is it for business? Is it for health? And they talked about all kinds of things. And then when I asked, how many of you have a vision board for your marriage? Every single hand.
Crickets.
It was pretty much crickets. Every hand came down. And I just posed the question, if we're willing to really build these vision boards for all these other areas like Snooks talked about, why aren't we building them for our marriage? It's supposed to be the most important thing in our lives.
Mm-hmm.
And so, we're so concerned about culture, right? Like when I used to be a headhunter, people used to always ask me when we were moving, executives around at different companies, so what's the culture like? When I get that fit, it has to be the right money, it has to be the right opportunity, it has to be fulfilling, but I'm truly concerned about the culture of that particular organization. What is that like? And so we're always talking about culture. If you work in corporate America, if anywhere in America, if you're talking about entrepreneurship, bootstrapping, starting from the ground up, everywhere you go, it's about the culture. What's the culture of the organization like? When you hear mergers and acquisitions, people coming together, and a company's taking over another company, you'll see Forbes magazine and a variety of different articles that are being written by Wall Street, like talking about the clashing of cultures and what have you.
Mm-hmm.
When we're sitting here doing this, you need to build a culture for your marriage as well, a culture for your relationship, and it can start by having a vision
board. Mm-hmm.
that you're putting forth with this vision board.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I think that was a great kind of segue into what we want to talk about as far as cultures, in our relationships. What do you see?
As-
It's I'm not just asking you, but
I'm like, wait, what'd I do? Okay.
what do you see? No, but what is it that you see? What is it that you want? You spoke very well about, and you speak well. I didn't mean to say you spoke very well, but you touched on the subject about asking the question of the professionals. Oh, the vision boards, and everyone's probably all proud. And yeah, I got a vision board. Yeah, I know where I want this to go. Yeah, I know what I'm looking for. And yeah,
Mercedes.
in 5 years I want this. And so why not for this person that you're sitting next to, or hopefully you're listening with together. If not, the one that you put the ring on their finger, or if you haven't done that yet, the one you're thinking about doing it for. This is a forever relationship.
Right.
Until the day we die, until death do us part. That's what we said in our vows. So how are we honoring our vows? You know what I mean? When we're just
kind of playing it by ear.
happenstance. We're just happenstancing our marriages.
I'm just trying to get through the pandemic.
Hey, I got to get through today.
I'm just trying to get through. No, so let's move beyond that. So put that on your calendars, December 11th, and actually do yourself one better. Go to Facebook and look up Iron Tribe Community. Look up Iron Tribe, the marriage community, and when you go there in our events, you can go ahead and sign up. It's free. And it's going to be about an hour and a half to 2 hours max. But we're just going to sit down and we're just going to build vision boards. So start collecting your magazines, your pictures, your ideas. Start really thinking about, where do I want to be with my marriage? 1 year from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now. What kind of legacy, what kind of culture do I want to create within my household? We do it for the job. So why aren't we doing it for our homes and our love?
Good job, Levy. High five me.
All right, I'll high five you. Nerd. No. See, the nerdiness is wearing off on her. No, but in that same respect. But here's something to think about. When we're going into this time of year, what kind of culture, what kind of traditions are we setting up in this year? And I think traditions, like, you have your holidays like Thanksgiving and, what do you do? Oh, we all get together and we eat turkey. Eating turkey on Thanksgiving is a tradition. Mm-hmm. When people come together for Christmas or Hanukkah or Kwanzaa, these are traditions.
Yeah, I like to look at them as holiday cycles, because right now you kind of even talked about it. Right after Halloween, we go right into the cycle of all the holidays. We're like back to back to back. Right. Yeah. Veterans Day is celebrated. Then there's Thanksgiving, and then we're at Christmas, and then we have New Year's. Those are like, well, those the big three are at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, actually,
Holiday wise, yeah.
yeah, except for January, it's just the first, but they're back to back to back, and we take great time, not great time, but we take pride in what we do on Thanksgiving. I think Thanksgiving supposedly is like the most celebrated, where you more people travel on the Thanksgiving holiday than they do on the Christmas holiday.
Mostly because I think
Christmas is about being home, opening
right,
presents
exactly,
and stuff like
right.
that. But it's like we make everyone makes the choice and they decide how they want their holidays to be.
Mm-hmm.
So we have our own like holiday ritual type thing. We kind of talked about it last week about Thanksgiving is usually more laid back. Christmas is bananas and crazy because my whole family, all 9,200 of
The
us,
day
come
of,
over here. Yeah,
but then we have traditions like the 25 days of Christmas.
the 25 days of Christmas. Yeah, that's very important. We have our tradition of when we put the tree up. Sometimes it's hit or miss, but for the most part, the weekend after Thanksgiving, we have our tree up, we have our decorations. There are times where it may be pushed to the next weekend, but we're
Yeah.
like we're on it as
Right
far
now,
as
it's a
that goes.
miss.
Yeah, it's a miss. That's okay. It's okay. We got a lot going on. But another one of our holiday traditions is
What?
um, Christmas Eve prep and landing.
Oh,
We watch Prep and Landing on Christmas Eve, and that's just the go-to. We have a bag, and the kids will pull out what movie we're going to watch because no one can ever agree on what we're going to watch Christmas wise during the day 1 through 23, I should say. And one year, someone picked out Prep and Landing. We're like, no, we can't watch that. That's Christmas Eve movie. So there's two of them, Prep and Landing, and I can't remember the other one, but that's our tradition.
yep.
No matter what, that's our tradition.
So we generally go over to my dad's house to exchange gifts on Christmas Eve,
Early Christmas
early
Eve.
Christmas Eve, and then sometimes my sister meets us over there, and then we'll actually leave there. We come here, turn the lights off, turn the fireplace on, get everything going, get the snacks,
We have like
blankets.
cookies, like Santa's really coming, but
I know we grown. He's like somebody looking at our house like somebody's looking to rob us. We're like, I ain't going there. Them folks are crazy.
They're
like, "Ooh,
corny.
but they're watching Prep and Landing.
Prep and Landing. We gotta watch it. We gotta watch
Yep,
it.
that's our thing.
That's
But
our thing.
it's funny. So when it comes to traditions, I like where you're going with this, to where you get to make your own.
You decide on what you want them to mean to you.
And there's so many. And think about this, folks. There's so many traditions that have meaning, and it's funny. It has a meaning in your house. Like take eating at the dinner table. It used to hold a lot of meaning for us back in the day. We would get together, everyone sitting around the dinner table when the kids were young. And one of my best friends, Steve Archuleta, introduced this practice into our home, where Steve would, when he would visit, he would ask our son Kalen, "What was the best part of your day? Tell me about it." And it was funny because then we started doing that all the time. So we would go around the table and tell each other what was the best part of our day. And then later on, we implemented the I Can, and then we had that. We would talk about, okay, how did you implement what you pulled for your I Can for the day at school?
Yeah.
That's when we had the I Can for kids. And it was one of those things that was a lot of fun. And then I think as activities started ramping up, there were the Taekwondo tournaments. We were traveling all over for Kalen's Olympic tournaments. Then we were just doing different things, going places. It started with him, and then it translated into basketball and soccer, when Kiki was playing competitive soccer. Then all of a sudden,
ultimately, volleyball just took over our
home
house.
house. Yep.
But even
It
still,
has not let go yet.
even still within that though, I'll say through maybe sophomore year, maybe up to sophomore year, we still pretty much,
Had that tradition.
for the most part, we sat down. Yeah. But then when she got old, Kiana got older
Well, what happened was they were both playing high school
yeah.
sports on different teams, and then they were both on,
Yeah, we
different high
have
school teams,
volleyball all
then
year
different
round. Mm-hmm.
club teams. So it was nuts. But what I was getting to was we each have the opportunity to create our own traditions.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have the opportunity to do that at your job. You don't get to go in and say, you know what, I don't like the culture here at company XYZ, so I'm going to bring in my own culture. Now, we try and bring in a sliver of ourselves, but we're not able to change the culture per se. But at home, you have the opportunity to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is a great opportunity this time of year when we're starting to narrow everything down to really start looking at how do we go about creating that culture? What does that really even mean? What does it mean to create traditions? And I think there's one word that I can think of.
I have a word too, but I don't know if it's
What's your word? Say your word.
Just being intentional.
Okay. I was going to say being intentional. My word was, see, it's funny. Your word was intentional.
Mm-hmm.
My word is connection.
Intentional connection. Like, what was that? Zoom. Intentional connection.
I was going to say like peanut, you got your peanut butter in my chocolate.
Oh.
My peanut butter. But intentional connections.
Mm-hmm. That's true. That's true. And it goes back to, like you were saying, you can decide on how you want it to look. Sit down with your partner and you guys talk about, okay, this is what I want to do. What do you think about that? And then you describe, not describe, but come up with how you want it to be, but also tell why it's important to you. Why is this important to you? Why do you,
So let me ask you, why is 25 Days of Christmas so important to you? Because that was your baby.
Was it my baby?
That was yours. Yours and Kiana's.
So 25 Days of Christmas was important to me because I kind of talked about it a little bit last week. When the cartoons would end, I would be so sad because I just loved that. I was all in. When I say I was all in, I was all in. And I was so sad to me that I could only watch these once a year. And one day, I don't know, I was a teenager, I think, and I saw that they actually sold them in the store, like at Target or something. And I was like, oh my God, I can watch Christmas cartoons whenever I want. But I never wanted that feeling to end. So, it was very sporadic because there was like maybe 5 that they played at that time when we were growing up. But now they have so many different selections to choose from. I was like, you know what? Christmas is going to be for the whole month of December. And I want that feeling when we decorate. It's joyous, we're happy, and it's nostalgia for me, But I enjoyed watching the kids enjoy also. I got the biggest kick out of that. And yeah, you say me and Kiki, but Kaylin, he tried to act like he wasn't having fun.
But he enjoyed it.
He was trying hard not to have fun, but yeah, he enjoyed it, because I would look at the expressions on their faces and everyone was tuned in. And, we had the popcorn and we had the cookies or whatever. And that feeling of like, this is family, this is home.
Right.
That's what that meant to me. That's why it was so important, because I remember not having that on a consistent basis. And then there were times when we missed when I was little. If I missed a cartoon, you mean I have to wait a whole nother year to see it? So yeah, I purchased every single Christmas cartoon movie that I could think of, or that I could find actually. And we have our own little Christmas section in our cubby.
Oh man, I remember when Isaiah lived with us.
Oh yes. So our niece. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, our niece used to stay with us, and we've at some point or another had a lot of different kids cycle through our home.
We had a lot of kids staying with us.
It's like we were foster parents once, but I feel like we were foster parents a lot. Once officially.
I was about to say unofficially. Unofficially, yeah, we've taken in some.
We've taken a lot of kids.
Taken in some kids. So.
But it's been funny, and some siblings. And some
And some nieces.
Some nieces, some nephews. Yeah. We've taken in a lot of people. It's been a nice throughput. But it's funny. They know that this is what we try and do. We've got this culture of love that we try and grow here in the house. But I think we're quite intentional about it. And we're going to challenge you to be intentional about your connections as well. To have it go beyond, turkey, and Thanksgiving.
Yeah, make it personal.
Come up with your own traditions, your own things that you want to do. And I think there's value to it because in doing that, you're creating a legacy because then the stories get to go on. Like, oh, remember we used to go over Auntie Rana's? And
sorry, but a lot of the kids, they sit and they talk about when they lived with us or when they would come over. So I have this thing about them saying, yeah. I hate, yeah, yeah. And I'm like, I'm sorry, what? So now everyone says yes. Even as adults, they'll, I mean, yes, yes.
And it's what's funny to me, though, is when we watch, I can't call them kids anymore because they have their own kids, multiple kids.
Yeah.
But when we watch the kids that used to hate it when we would correct them to get them to say yes, I always laugh when I see them correct their kids and tell their kids to say yes and not yeah. I don't know if they're doing that just because we're around or if that's their thing, but it is so funny to me.
You blame Auntie Rana. Blame Auntie Rana.
But that's another intentional connection. There's some of these things that we do that you just don't know how far, what that ripple is going to be like. And you have the opportunity to create this ripple that never ends.
Yeah, that's very true.
And again, we're talking about traditions and all of that, but this is about your marriage because these little things that you do, people see that as part of the tapestry of your love, part of the tapestry of your marriage.
Just thinking about, I think about after year 4, well, let's just keep it real, all of the years, because the rest of the years would not have happened, I don't think, the way that they happened without the year 4.
Oh, absolutely. I'm thankful for the adversity.
I am too, because it made us stronger. It made us better. I feel like, our love has always been on point, but we show it, I think, differently.
Outwardly.
Yeah, exactly.
People
Not
say
ashamed.
too much TMI, but you know what? Y'all goofy, that can't be real, all that. But it's like, this is not a dress rehearsal. We only got one shot at this.
Right.
So we're going to live it to the best of our ability. And if it's not the flavor of your month, I couldn't give a rip.
So I just want to, it's kind of funny. I almost forgot about this too. Just kind of want to share something about how important it is to be intentional the way we move through time together.
Okay, come on.
So,
come
on. Last week, it was before Thanksgiving, the girls and I were in the kitchen and we were just talking, and Ashanti was talking about, we're talking about boys, well, young men, whatever, relationships and whatnot. And she was like, Mom, I'm kind of mad at you. She goes, you and Dad kind of like ruined it. And I was like, what do you mean we ruined it? I'm thinking, we're good. She goes, you guys kind of ruined it. And I was like, what do you mean we ruined it? And Kiana chimes in, yeah, seriously though. And I was like, what are you talking about? She goes, because I look at you guys and it's like, I want what you guys have. And I want what, how did she say this? She said, I want what you guys have. And she said some other stuff, and her and Kiki started laughing together. Kiki was like, yeah, seriously, because when we were younger, she goes, the way that Dad caters to you and the way that you cater to Dad, and you guys always, she didn't say touch, but something like that, But you sit on the couch and it's so cute. And I used to be like, oh, I want that too. I want a dad. And I said, yeah, you do want a dad, because we've said this before. I've said this to them before.
Even before they thought I looked like Vin Diesel back in the day.
Oh my God. Yeah. But just the way that the way that we've moved through time together, it affected them. And they saw something to like, hey, I want that also, I had to tell her, I was like, well, you're only 21. So that's kind of the hard part. I said, I didn't meet Dad until I was 27.
We were both 27.
Yeah, I said, I was 27 when I met Dad. And she just looked at me like, oh. I said, girl, I promise I understand what you're saying. Because when I was 21, I had a boyfriend, and.
Trust me. She did not want to know a guy like her dad when Dad was 21.
I said that too. I said, girl, if you thought if I would have met Dad when he was 21, you would not be here.
There ain't no way.
And she just started laughing, but it made me feel good that they look at us and like saying that's what they want. I was like, okay, so we are doing something right. Even when we have our adversity, when we don't agree, they see how we don't agree and how we're able to work through our disagreements, how we're able to still stay respectful. And, you don't
And
talk
not
down to
talking the
me.
mic.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm not in. I see. I just say you don't talk bad about, you don't talk down to me. Stop moving my mic. I can do it. But you know what I'm
No,
saying?
I hear
I
you.
felt good about that because
And
I was like,
this isn't like a love fest about Snooks and Lovey
no,
or
no, no, no,
about
no.
us.
This is just, I say that just because it made me think about how we move through time together. And this is something that for couples to think about. What are we doing on a daily basis? Because people are watching. You may not think they're watching, but people watch.
If you have kids, they're watching. I guarantee they're watching like chicken hawks.
And we've kind of talked about it before too. Um, People being on the social media kind of thing. There's so many couples that they get on social media and they love each other. Oh, we're so loving, we're so whatever. And then but they're really not. They're really fighting and they're really, but everyone's trying to show that they're something that they're not. But be authentic, be
Right.
whatever. If I'm mad at Lovey, I'm mad at Lovey. And sometimes it might show on the podcast.
It has. It has. I got people saying, "Are you okay? You good?" I'm checking in, man. I listen to the podcast. You light skinned. You got bruises?
Ever.
Are they showing?
Cut it out.
Because we ride, but I gotta ask my wife if I could ride. It ain't like the old days. I just can't just get up and go. I gotta ask her. Hey, babe. Ernie's. He might be hurt. He might be in. Can I ride?
Good Lord. She
Can we
like,
ride?
No, she.
Malcolm's out in the car.
She probably be like, if he hurt, he probably deserve it. So.
Malcolm. She said I can't go. You got to go without me. So tell Ern I said I got his back sometimes.
I can't stand you.
I got his back
That
on
is so
Tuesdays
funny.
and Fridays.
When she work late.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just having fun.
Like,
But what you're saying is true though, because I love interviewing couples. Love interviewing couples because the couples that we select are people that we find intriguing, that we find really interesting, that not only just have a story to tell, but they have a certain energy that we vibe with, and even some guests that we like. There's people that we've spoken to that I've only known through social media, and then I reach out to get them as guests, and like Dan, when we had Dan Purcell in here, and it was just a good dude. I really enjoyed him, but you can tell when couples just don't. They're not
just doing it for show.
Right. And I've come across some couples recently that I'm keeping an eye on. I'm watching, seeing what they do on social media, and then also, what they do, how they post their lives, and what other people are saying about them as well. Because I've got some ideas for some other individuals to bring on, but we haven't been wrong yet, not once, because I think we gravitate towards people that I'm not gonna say remind us of us, but they just they emit a good, clean energy. And I say all that because we want you to have that as well. And we always talk about the work that's involved. Oh, there's so much work. Oh, you got to work through it. If you want to, they say this thing when you're working out, or if you're grinding and you're an entrepreneur, like, if you want to be a lion, you got to do lion stuff. But everybody wants to, be a lion, but don't nobody want to do lion stuff. And I'm paraphrasing stuff.
It's another S word.
There's another S word.
Okay.
Keep it a PG.
Got you.
But the same thing comes to our relationships. Everybody wants happy, healthy, wealthy marriages, but are you willing to do the things that are required to have that? Mm-hmm. And even when you're going through it, I mean, look, because we'll tell you, it's not a bowl of cherries. It's not all sunshines and rainbows.
Yeah, go back to our first episode.
Right. I mean, there's a lot of stuff. I mean, and even when we got past year 4, in year 6, in year 9, in year 12, in year 15.
Oh, wait.
I'm just saying, there's always adversity.
I was about to say.
There's always something.
Something going on I didn't know about? No, but you're right. You are right.
but the adversity doesn't define our relationship. To a certain extent, it helped define it. Our greatest adversity helped define how we would meet things heads on. And I think that's what I really want you guys to do, is by defining your culture, by being intentional about your connection, even in the little things, like the holidays, or how you eat at the dinner table, or coming together, or creating a tradition of greeting each other at the door. We have an episode called Dino Moments. And that was about being intentional about your connection, about how to greet each other when you get home. I was joking back in that episode so long ago about how I want to be greeted like Dino greets Fred Flintstone when he walks to the door. You know, and Dino knocks down the door and jumps on. I'm like, so we have this standing joke now where somebody pulls into the garage. If you're not absolutely busy, we'll run out there and do something stupid like.
Yeah, we're so goofy, guys.
It's corny.
It's so funny because there are times when I'll pull up and he's right at the door with his hands like he's little paws or whatever, and and I know exactly, as soon as I see it, I'm like, okay, I know exactly, and it typically makes me feel better because like if I'm having a bad whatever, I was in a bad mood or something. And when I see that, all I do is laugh, and I do the same thing to him. He comes in, and I'm right there, And we don't do it every single day.
No, not at all.
Not the Dino moment, but
It's fun. It's corny. It's us. But we're not saying you have to do that, but create your own Dino moments.
I was about to say, so that's like Lovey's saying, create your own Dino moments. But it's like, how do you guys talk about what you expect in the mornings, what you expect when you come home? Lovey's talked about Dino, but like in the mornings we have our own shared ritual. We make sure that we pray in the morning, and we hug and we kiss. We don't leave the house without it. So I'm just be very transparent. Lovey hurt my feelings this morning. So I work at home today, and when I work at home, most days that I work at home, I'm less than stellar when I come downstairs. When I come downstairs,
less than stellar. She talking about what? What you talking about? What you talking about, Snooks? What you talking about?
So,
what do you mean less than stellar? Define that.
I'm not dressed for work. Okay. I get up and I'll do my regular morning ritual stuff, but not get dressed. I'm in my house clothes, or I'm in my whatever.
Right.
So I came in the office and I'm working or whatever, have my tea, and Lovey's like, okay, we need to pray. And I was like, oh, he goes, come on, we got to pray, because he had to go. And I was like, okay. So I get up. And I look up at him and I ask him a question. He was like, oh, wait. He's like, wait. Are you kidding me right now? I said, what are you talking about? And I already knew what he was talking about because I didn't brush my teeth. He was like,
She said, I didn't brush my teeth. No, she didn't brush the scales of the dragon. Brush teeth. She trying to be nice. Trying to call. She did not scrub the scales of the dragon. Because I'm telling you now, man.
You should have saw his face. So he was like, oh.
When I started the day, I had one gray hair in my eyebrow. I now have 3. I mean, she just.
Oh, man.
She took the
life. It was so funny. And I was dying laughing because I was like, I never do you like that. I don't do you that way.
She doesn't want to come home. If I've had like a shake, there's certain shakes that I drink. And if I haven't really eaten a whole lot because I've been on the go and I've only had the shake, that smell that just emanates from your gut and comes up.
Stomach, intestines.
And I'll go to kiss her and I get home. When she's trying to give me that Dino moment. And I go to kiss her and she's like, oh, hold on, player. Those are her exact words. Oh, hold on, player. Don't. That is exactly how she does it too.
But Lovey is unfair though, because he's bigger and he's stronger than me. I can't just hold you and keep you captive. he tries to do that. I would try to get away from him, and he'll just grab me and bear hug me and try to make me take his kisses. Nope, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, that's funny. But you know what?
Oh,
It all stems from being
That's funny.
intentional about your connections. And that's gonna be the title of this particular podcast, because if nothing else, we're not saying celebrate Thanksgiving or Halloween or Christmas or Hanukkah or Kwanzaa. We're not saying do that. What we are saying is be intentional about your connections, whatever that may be. Make up your own holiday.
Right. It doesn't have to be the formal holidays. It can be informal. It doesn't have to. You have your own holiday. It could be Casing Day,
right?
And we're celebrating it.
And we learned that from someone else, which you're going to hear more coming up soon. There's
the morning.
There's so much.
Yeah.
That we can learn from each other.
I've been thinking about that all weekend.
Oh, yeah. We don't even want to say it because I don't want to steal the thunder of a couple that we're going to be bringing to you here shortly.
No, I know. But they said something that just resonated with me. And I'm just like, we finna do that. I like it.
Oh, yeah. You come on our show. We will steal your ideas and implement
and coin them. No.
and implement them into our relationship. And that's what it's about. We want you to shamelessly steal anything you hear on this show.
He said shamelessly.
Shamelessly. I mean, that means if you we want to do Dino moments. Do Dino moments. Call it whatever you want. Call it Dino. We don't care. But all we care about is being a throughput, that conduit through which you can actually find some nuggets or some practices or something, whether it comes, by something that we've done or avoiding mistakes that we've made, or you pick something up from a couple or that we've introduced you to, or an author, or one of the experts, the health experts that we've brought on, or the sex therapist, the sex coach, all these different people that we steal shamelessly to create your own intentional connections, so that way you can have a happy, healthy, wealthy life.
I was gonna say that too. When you think about it, when you're planning together, that increases and that builds up your friendship. Excuse me. And when you build up your friendship, you build up your connections to each other. It's so important. And a lot of times I just think that we just kind of happenstancing our relationships. We just take for granted that, oh, you're here, I'm here, and this is what it is. No one's really investing or being intentional about the things that they do together, making
right.
plans for the future. Okay, fine. If you don't want to do a vision board, then do a vision map or something like that.
Call it what you want.
Yeah, call it whatever you want it is. But plan something, do something, and do it together. That's how you stay fresh. That's how the relationship continues to thrive, We
Absolutely.
Get excited when we're doing things together, or I know that we have something planned going on, or, it's like, oh, babe, what about this, or blah, 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 whatever. We keep the party going.
Right. And, and it's funny you say all that, because I truly believe that we're talking about vision boards. We're talking about vision casting. We're talking about developing a culture, within your home for your marriage, about creating traditions, intentional connections. One of the things that you can do is actually go to marriedandcrazy.com and go to our coaching page and click on that discovery call. Schedule an opportunity to speak with us, for anywhere from 15 minutes to 30 minutes, where we can actually talk about, a plan. If you're like, we're okay, but I want to be better than okay. Mm-hmm. I want to create a plan, or we're having challenges, or, whatever it may be. That's what we're here for. We're here for you guys to utilize us as your coaches. And we take a lot of the training that we receive and the variety of different certifications that we venture into, like, the Gottman trainings that we've been going to. We utilize that. We open up resources for our couples, extreme execution coaching that we've done with Eric Thomas. We do all of that, the things that we learned from, Mustafa, the man himself, and a bunch of others, that are involved in extreme execution. There's some top-notch individuals that are in our network, and we make a lot of these things available solely for the purpose of building your covenant.
Yes.
And lifting up, your marriage. So definitely go there and do that. That's something you can do together. We ideally, our couple-to-couple coaching, I'm just going to lie, is bomb, because it's both of us, and it's a chopping it up. It's not you're super clinical. Oh, this is what the textbook says, and this is what I learned in school.
You get a little bit of that.
Yeah, I mean, you get a little bit. We do. I mean, don't get me wrong. We're not talking down about that because we've gone through counseling. We believe in that tremendously. But we're talking about, sitting down with a couple, chopping it up, and we give you the good, the bad, the ugly. We don't pull punches, but we also don't come out out the corner punching. We try and find out how we can best serve you, and that's what it amounts to. But ultimately, we try and find methods and give you tools so you can serve each other.
And and a lot of it is based on empirical evidence. We're not just like, we like to say, oh yeah, we're like the couple at the barbecue. We're cool like that, but we actually do have some knowledge too.
And that's why we're really excited about the relationship that we have, and the things that we're learning through the Gottman Institute. I mean, there's 40 years of empirical evidence, from the foremost authority when it comes to the training that they've received and they share in their research, and we take tidbits of that we have access to. And we try and actually impart that to all of you as well. And let's just be honest. There's some things that you could line up 4 or 5 different coaches, 4 or 5 different therapists, 4 or 5 different experts, and like motivational speakers, what have you. And they can say the exact same thing. But for whatever reason, something hits you the way that one person said it as opposed to the other 4.
Right. You'll resonate with one person more than you will another.
Oh, absolutely. It happens all the time in motivational speaking. So you can hear and more times than not, you probably don't realize it, but you hear the exact same thing from Tony Robbins, from, E.T.
Les Brown.
From Les Brown, from Gary Vaynerchuk, from all these different individuals, Ed Milet or whomever, right? Will Kaysen, you hear all these different people, and they're saying a lot of the same things because the knowledge is coming from one place more times than not. But for whatever reason, one of them just hits you a little differently than anyone else, and it resonates with you. And that's the same thing that goes for coaches, same thing that goes for therapists. And we just think that if we resonate, if something we say, just hits you in the right way, reach out and do a discovery call and see if we truly do connect, because we are very intentional about when we have those calls, and we make sure that we're the best choice for you. You're choosing us, we're choosing you as well, because there are couples that or individuals that we say, this might not be the best fit, and we walk away. There's no pressure whatsoever in either direction. So that's just something else to think about when you're creating these intentional connections. Build your team, and your team needs to be those individuals that can support you as well. Got it. So with that said, don't forget, go over to marriedandcrazy.com for several things. I want you to just look around the website. Take a look at the discovery call, but also go to the monthly question. Mm-hmm. Hit that record button, answer the question. If you want to ask us a question and you want to offer something, tell a story, have something that you want us to talk about, what have you, you can also hit that button and record it there. But you can always email us over at coaching@marriedandcrazy.com. You can also just participate. Make sure you follow us on all social media, on Facebook as well as Instagram. For those of you that are on LinkedIn, feel free. I'm not as active on LinkedIn, but I know I should be. But you can also go there as well. I'm trying to ramp that up a little bit more for our professional folks. And so just, join the Iron Tribe. Join our community, and let's chop it up. And let's enjoy these upcoming 25 days of Christmas. Woo woo. All right, so until the next time.
Be blessed.
Bye.
Bye-bye.